Shop talk, shayat, shayat, shaddy up, shayat, day, shaya, shayat up, shop tie, shaddy up, shop talk.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, for the Lord God Almighty, He reigns. Oh, hallelujah, hallelujah, for the Lord God Almighty, He reigns. Oh, hallelujah. Holy, holy, are you Lord God Almighty? Worthy is the Lamb, worthy is the Lamb. You are holy, holy, are you Lord God Almighty? Worthy is the Lamb. Yeah, let's sing. Come on. Yeah. For the Lord God Almighty, He reigns. Everybody say, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. For the Lord God Almighty, He reigns. Hey, Hallelujah, holy, yeah. Are you Lord God Almighty? Worthy is the Lamb. Worthy is the Lamb. You are holy. Are you Lord God Almighty? Yeah. Worthy is the Lamb. Worthy is the Lamb. You are holy. Lord God Almighty. Yeah. Worthy is, yeah. Holy, holy, are you Lord God Almighty? Worthy is the Lamb. Hey, you are holy. Yeah, Lord God Almighty. Hey, worthy is the Lamb. 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 Hey, worthy is the Lamb. Worthy is the Lamb. Worthy is the Lamb. Hey. Worthy is the Lamb. Worthy is the Lamb. Everybody. Feel good. Listen, I want y'all to help me sing. Say, ain't nobody like him. Ain't nobody like him. He alone is worthy. He alone is worthy. Worthy is the Lamb. Say, ain't nobody like him. Ain't nobody
What is going on, y'all? It is your man D Toll. It is another day's journey, and Lord knows we are super D duper glad about it. Those of you hanging out with us, welcome to Shop Talk. You're probably figuring out what in the world am I tuned into. You know what it is, children. It is Shop Talk right here on your favorite network. You know what it is. It is freedomradio.com. We want to welcome everyone who is watching us live on Facebook, those of you who might be watching us live on YouTube, as well as those who might just be listening to us audibly on freedomradio.com. This is the place where it is going down. We're going to be making things happen for the next hour or however long it takes us to get these things that are off our chests. It is all to the good. Now, before we get rolling, if you didn't know as of yet, my name is Demetrius Tollfree. It says so literally right there. And I am super duper glad to be hanging out with you. All right, before we get going, before we do anything about today's show, you know what you got to do. You got to get on the phone, call, text, tweet, Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, Social Cam, Periscope, Marco Polo. You can tell your mama nim, Ray Ray, Shay Shay, Day Day, Delicious nim, Nuck Nuck nim, Pojo nim. Let them all know that we are hanging out live right here on freedomradio.com. All right, y'all, let's start this morning out the way we always do by giving some early morning shout outs to people who are hanging out with us. I'll start out with my cousin, my first cousin, Linnell Jonigan out in Hayward, California. Glad to have him hanging out with us. We even have well, hey, there's a name I know, Demetrius Tollfree, of course. I am here hanging out today. Shout out to my neighbor as well as a constituent from my church. Gay Harris is in the virtual building. Gay, we are yet, you've been on my mind, sister, and hopefully all is well with you. I know that you came to church a couple of weeks ago with this uber short dress on, and I prayed for you, and I hear that the Lord has been touching you and doing things the way that only he can. Anyway, shout out to my homie, Didi Felder. Didi Felder in the building, who was the winner of our Get Fit in July campaign. She made things happen, man, and she killed all of us. But hey, Didi, you never did tell me what you want to win what you want us to send you as the winner. Let me know whatever you want to do. It is all to the good. You earned it. You absolutely deserve it. Shout out to the homie, the lady, Denisha Sexton Do in the virtual building. What is going on, sister? And glad to have you hanging out with us. It is all to the good. We've got Tracy J. Wilson. What is going on, Tracy? Glad to have you hanging out. It is all good. We're going to make things happen. Today's going to be an absolutely amazing day. If you all haven't done so as of yet, share today's stream. Let people know what you're watching and then that allow them to come on and hang out with us as well. And let's make things happen. Shout out to Mama Yolanda Prothrow in the virtual building. What is going on, young lady? Glad to have you. Shout out to Azizi Law, the young homie as well, up in Sacramento of California. She is hanging out with us, and we're going to make things happen again. Gay, yep, I see you. God bless you. Yes, God bless you as well. I heard you had a little bit of a tumble. Maybe I think you had a tumble over the weekend. And if so, maybe because you had on your dress was too short and it got caught or something like that. But anyway, I am glad to have you hanging out with us. I hear that you're doing pretty good. You know, it's all just fun and jokes. Today, we have a great show lined up for you. We got tons of things to talk about. Want to give a shout out to Doobie Powell, who was the one who opened us up today's show with his song, Worthy is the Lamb. Great song. Want to make sure that you be able to get that. Speaking of great music, those of you who are Apple users, if you haven't done so as of yet, and Android users too, I always want to start out by saying Apple users because of the way this whole thing starts. But if you have Apple Music, if you are an Apple user or an Android user and you use Apple Music, do yourself a favor. Two things I want you to do. First of all, I want you to be able to create your own profile. If you haven't done so as of yet, all you have to do is open up the music app in the in the lower left corner. You'll see something that says, I believe, let's find out. Let's open it up. My music app, Ikana, says listen now, right? You click the listen now in the bottom left, and then in the upper right corner, you'll see a silhouette or a little icon that looks like a person. If you tap on that, it will open up, and then you can create your own profile. I have more people who've been following me and who have added me since last week. Do yourself a favor. Create yourself a profile. You will be able to then add friends, follow friends. People can follow you, and you'll be able to expand your world. There's so much music on Apple Music. There's so many great artists. Nobody knows them all. But when you start following people and they start following you, you guys can kind of share playlists and stuff back and forth, and be able to learn and meet new people, meet new artists, meet new people that you did not know was available. So do yourself a favor and make that happen. Also, if you haven't done so as of yet, make sure, please, ma'am, please, sir, if you are on Apple Music, to download the Bay Area Gospel playlist that I made. I made a playlist that has music from every Bay Area artist known to man. Literally, there's over 130 songs in this list, all great music, something that you don't want to miss. So if you have Apple Music, create yourself a profile, follow some friends, allow people to follow you, but more importantly, create or download that Bay Area Gospel playlist that's on my profile. It will do you good. All right, y'all, let's get ready to bring up our first co-host, who I'm glad to have hanging out with us all the way out in the North Kakalaki, Charlotte, to be exact. She is hanging out with us and making things happen, as she always does. And I'm happy to see her. Let's bring her up, my homegirl and yours, the incredibly talented, the super smart, and for this week, taking a break from things to get things together, my homegirl and yours, the wonderful Yolanda Wild Praise Morant. Yolanda, good morning. What is going on? Glad to have you hanging out with us.
Who is he talking about?
I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you.
What's up, y'all?
I'm good. I'm good. Hey, your audio's low. You talking into your mic? I don't hear you at all. Now, what did you do? Now you can change something else. I heard you at first, but it was kind of low. But
Y'all good? Can you hear me now?
there you go.
All right, here we go.
Thank
All right,
you.
what's up? What's up, fam? Hope everybody's good.
Everything is well. What about you? That is the real question. How are you?
Well, I was good. I was having like the best day. I had like a lot of clarity. I came up with a new idea for clients, like refocus with my clients. I was like enjoying this little staycation at my homegirl. Shout out to my homegirl Stephanie Drake, who's like, you grown, you need to go be grown and get, chill out. So I did all that. I was having a great day, got me a little piece of chicken before I came home. And then, I had the most terrific lift experience in my entire existence. And so shout out to Demetrius. I don't know if, he never tell me if I get, well, all I'm say this is that he saved my life without knowing he saved my life yesterday. So what happened was a short version of the story, because lady Gay Arbuckle came on last night. She was like, things could be so much worse. She was like, things could be so much worse. Aren't you glad that God saved your life? I was like, for real, Jesus? I can't just be mad. And I was like, he's right. It could have been worse. Okay, so long story short, I got a lift back to my house. And it was it's not like a short ride. I live maybe 25 minutes from downtown. So it was like I got to lift back to my house. And I asked the driver, he came into the complex, and I asked the driver to stop because it was raining, it was coming down really hard. So I asked the driver to stop so I could get my mail. I said, can you just stop just a second? Now I know I said, can you stop just a second? I got in the bag. Okay, I'm not going to pick it up. I'm a bag lady. So I got in his car with a big old Victoria's Secret tote and a backpack, right? I'm a girl, but I travel like a boy. So I got a backpack, with the laptop, all of that. I got the pink bag. And I say, hold on, can I just stop just a second to get, can you just stop just a second? Yes, sure. There was a car behind him. I'm trying to motion for this car to come around. Well, he is trying to make a U-turn. That's my assumption. This gentleman decides that he wants to drive off the lot outside of the complex. I'm screaming, yelling like, wait, where you going? He drives off with all my stuff.
Lord,
My laptop, my phone, my wallet, those are the most important things. So I'm like, what just happened? And I'm thinking like, oh, he's gonna come back because he's gonna realize I got this lady stuff in my back seat, right? I'm waiting like a couple minutes. A guy that I've never met that lives in my car private complex like, yo, you okay? Like, this man just drove off with my stuff. You know, I'm trying not to like use language that Jesus doesn't desire. So I'm like really frustrated. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, so I'm just sitting waiting. I open my door. I'm standing in my doorway, just like waiting, like, what is going on? Let me tell you what saved my life. I pray I don't start crying. What saved my life yesterday was Demetrius Toll Free, because Demetrius sold an Apple laptop into me about a little under a year ago. So I'm being honest. Okay. I was like, I don't use Apple. Like, yes, I'm a PC girl and I do graphics. And I was like, oh no, maybe I'll just send it back to him or something. And I just kept saying, well, okay, it just sits in this bag. I turn it on every, couple of weeks or so. This thing saved my life yesterday because I really don't want to start crying. I'm such a girl. I had no way to communicate. I have no house phone. It's 2021, right? So I have no house phone. I didn't have an extra laptop in my house. My tablet, all electronics were in my bag, because I took all of that with me to this little hotel. So I didn't have nothing, man. Let me tell you what saved my life yesterday. This laptop. Because Jesus has blessed me with social media intelligence. So what I did was I went on to the Lyft website, couldn't get an answer because they kept asking me for my phone number. Duh, I don't have my phone. So kept going through that. What saved my life was going through Twitter. Tell y'all how to get quick answers when you got flight issues. When stuff happens, you tweet to the company immediately. They inbox me. We're going through the motions. They're still asking me for a phone number. They move my conversation to Facebook, and I am, just going ham. I want my stuff. Where's my stuff? I was going to call the police and everything because I don't know the guy. I don't know if he took my stuff. I don't know. So let me tell you what saved my grace. This Apple laptop, social media intelligence, and Demetrius Toll Free. Because I thought, oh my God, let me go to the iPhone. Let me go log on to iCloud. I logged on to Apple. I put in, lost phone mode for my phone. Let me tell you again how Demetrius saved my life. I had to buy a Skype number, right? So all the things that I stopped doing, right? I stopped using Skype, all of that. I went to Skype. I bought a Skype number. I was able to put that number into the programming for Apple. The guy, my phone, I don't know what kind of sound that phone makes when it's lost, but obviously it was irritating because he called the number and he's like, oh, I took my stuff. Those, everything in between that, you read that. And so I said, bring my stuff back. He brings my stuff back. All I'm telling you is he met my mama and my grandmother in the same person yesterday. And I said, ma'am, sir, this is my stuff. So I did get my stuff back, but now I'm having, to fight Lyft because they charged me for him to bring my stuff back.
What?
Yes. So I woke up to an additional charge because I guess they charge a fee. And when I'm talking to Lyft back and forth, they're saying our drivers are independent contractors. We have no insurance to cover if someone Oh yeah. So I have been tweeting the president of Lyft today. Oh, I don't play. Let me tell you, I don't play with is my stuff. You can take everything else, leave me my Jesus, and leave me my laptop. So thank you so much, Demetrius, because of your seed you sowed, I was able to get my stuff back. But I will say this to you. What frustrated me the most is I thought about people who are not very tech savvy, people who are not very social media savvy. And what if they didn't know to do that? True. What would they have done in that incident if they didn't have a phone, if they didn't have this? There's no customer service to that. You can't speak to a live person for any of these companies, which if any of these companies are watching, if y'all ever see this, y'all need live customer service. I know that's going to be a hassle. I know people are going to be calling you being mad about whatever. But all I kept thinking about is, what if this was my mom, who is not tech savvy at all?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What if this is an older gentleman, or not even old? Some people are younger and they're not tech savvy like that. They wouldn't know to go to social media and, like that. People wouldn't know those solutions. So.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. Let me actually, first of all, you're welcome. But secondly, let me throw a helpful hint out to my Apple users. Many of us nowadays have two-factor authentication on our Apple ID. Whether we want it or not, sometimes some of us was not reading what was coming up on the screen, and we opted into two-factor authentication, whether we wanted to or not. Do yourself a favor, my friends. Do yourself a favor. Add another number to your two-factor, whether it's a close friend, whether it's a relative, whether it's, a brother or a sister. Do yourself a favor. Add yourself a second number to your Apple ID in terms of the two-factor. Let me tell you why. If you lose your phone and you're trying to find it or locate it, when you go to iCloud.com, one of the first things it asks you after you put your phone number in is for your two-factor authentication code. Well, if your phone is stolen, guess what you can't get? You can't get that two-factor authentication code. And if you don't have, like Yolanda or myself, if you don't have another trusted device like an iPad or a MacBook of some sort, guess what? You are going to be stuck and you won't be able to access your account. You won't be able to find your phone. Trust me, do yourself a favor and be able to add another number, just someone you trust, someone you can, in a sense of an emergency, be able to call and say, hey, you probably just got a 6-digit code. Can you give it to me? Real simple, not major. They won't have access to your account. They won't be able to log into your Apple ID. Don't worry about that. You just need a secondary person to be able to access that. Shout out to Cambria Mayfield, who's watching from YouTube and says to you, Yolanda, God is so good, of which he is. And she says that she is crying for you.
And can I give another tip too?
Absolutely.
Because it's something they were asking me for that I didn't have. They were also asking me for some type of identity to prove that I was who I said I was. And I used to do these little things. I used to keep a copy of my ID in my actual email. Now, some people say to be careful because people go through your email, but I used to do that because of traveling overseas. I would have like a copy of my passport, something like that. So I also encourage that, like having other identifications available to you. Let me tell you something, I came in the house, I didn't have nothing but my keys. So I also encourage keeping another, type of identification at your home or, somewhere else that you can access it in case something. So in case something happens, because when the floodgates open to travel overseas again, I'm gonna tell you something that can really happen. Stuff does get lost. And so if you're overseas and your passport gets lost, honey, you'll be staying wherever you at. Sure. So the best thing to do is always have a copy of those really important pieces of material or identifications in your email address, like just something you can save. And this is why I encourage this, something you can save and send to yourself. And as I've been encouraging since the top of the pandemic, to change your email and passwords frequently. Several of my close friends have been hacked over the past several weeks and months. And so one thing that helps prevent some of those things is not to answer strange. If it feels strange, it is strange. Not to answer those strange emails, or send money to somewhere strange, and to change your passwords frequently.
That's good stuff. You absolutely should, and make it something that. Here is a tip to try to get away from hackers. I know this wasn't even what we were supposed to be talking about, but let me give you this tip. This is actually good stuff. Here's a good way to create or update your passwords. Use numbers. For me, when I try to have to create a new password, and if I just want to have a password that I can remember, change the letter I. If you use the letter I, change that I to a number 1. If you use the letter E, change the letter E to a 3, just to be able to throw things off so that all your stuff is not easily guessable. And if need be, add a special character, add an underscore, add an exclamation point, add a period, add something else that out of the norm that you can be able to have in your password to be able to recreate it to where it's not so guessable. People, I've seen many people recently go through a lot of situations where their passwords are being hacked. Just like Yolanda just mentioned, it's no fun. Jacory just went through a major situation. I don't even know if he's out of it yet with his Instagram account, where his Instagram got hacked and he can't even access it at this point.
Wow.
Please, ma'am, please, sir, do what you can to change your passwords frequently. Trick different people to where you add a number instead of a certain letter to make things happen, and it'll be helpful for you, and we'll make things happen. All right.
Yeah, one last thing. I'm sorry, I just thought about this too. So Nikita Clay, Kurt Carr singer Nikita Clay, Instagram got hacked a couple of months ago. Maybe about 2 months ago, and it was hacked for real hacked. She lost everything, like years of content gone. So let me help y'all with this. I don't know. Maybe Demetrius can better enlighten me and or us on this. I don't exactly know how you get verified on social media platforms. I will tell you this: you're not going to get an inbox about being verified.
True.
So you're not going to get an inbox. So if you get an inbox about someone saying, if you pay this certain amount of money, we can do X, Y, and Z, you need to delete it. Don't respond. If you see scamming, let me tell you how you know it's a scam. The language is always usually very repetitive. It'll say something like this: have you heard of the blah, blah, blah? More than likely it's spam. Yeah. Someone's asking you for money and you don't know them. And even in that case, you need to, like, if you see an inbox, I'm not going to ask you for no money in your inbox, I promise. Right. So if you see something like that from somebody, the best thing to do is call them or shoot them a text. Hey, did you send me this message? Right. Before you send out any cash apps, it's all right to have a giving heart. But before you send out any cash apps or anything like that, if you see something like, hey, follow me and you'll get 10,000 followers, it's spam. I don't exactly know how spam fully works. Maybe that's something I need to research for all of us. I don't know how it fully works, but I will tell you, if it feels strange, if it seems a lot of out of order, I don't care how fine he is, and I don't care how fine she is, it is probably spam. Yeah. I promise you. And so when those types of things happen, you don't respond. Same thing with your email. If you get something that says, we are the believers of Jesus Christ and we want to get you to send $5, don't respond. Immediately delete it and report it as spam.
Absolutely. That's good stuff. As a matter of fact, while we're in this conversation, we actually have a break-in out in, I believe, I think El Sobrante of California. If not, she'll correct me when we get her in. Let's bring on my homegirl and yours, who is hanging out. She is doing her "Don't Be Tardy for the Party" impression today, but she is hanging out with us, my girl and yours, the incredible Ashlyn Tara Cole. Ashlyn, girl, what is going on?
What's going on, everybody? I am working. I hope you can hear me. I know it's probably loud and muffled because I got my mask on. I got my mask ministry is strong. Jesus. I got Jacory on. I got Liquid Love on. Yes, I got Better Together on. I jumped on because I'm a co-host on the show. But besides that, I heard you having this conversation, and what's crazy, Yolanda, is that the way that they got Jacory and almost got me is they sent an email saying that we were in violation of copyright laws. And it wasn't like, it was legit. It looked legit. And of course, we do our first reactions show. And so in our mind, we're like, oh, Lord, what have we done? And so all it took was Jacory clicking the link about, you're in violation, and click here to, to clear your, whatever it was. And it hacked his account. And so it was like, so I guess they call it the Trojan horse or a worm, right? And so that's what happened. And so he's so discouraged. He's like, I don't even want to, he started another page, but it's just not the same. It's not the same. But we are hopeful. I mean, they told him he could get his stuff back in 2 to 4 weeks. So I'm really hoping, but it's not always a fine dude sliding in your DMs. It's not always wifey material sliding in your DMs. Sometimes they try to be legit because the cookies and the tracing and all that stuff. They've got your information. They know what you like. They are codes, right? They're codes, and they see you looking at Converse, PF Chang's, right? All the e-kanash. Yeah, absolutely. So they know what it is that you follow and what you like, and it's a code. And if you watch, I can't remember detail. What's the documentary that they did a couple years ago, specifically talking about this? And it was basically like they knew what they were doing when they wrote the codes for Facebook, when they wrote the codes for Instagram. They knew what they were doing. It was a marketing and tracking mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
We caught up in the matrix now, but so I'm glad my account didn't get hacked. But now I'm frustrated because I included some code generator third 3 verification, and I can't get in my account.
Which account can't you get into?
Facebook. So when you sent the link, and I try to go to get into Facebook to get into Messenger on my laptop, it tells me that I have to enter a code from a code generator. You used to be able to go to settings in Facebook. You could go down to the bottom, tap those 3 lines, and it would drop down. It would say code generator, and it would give you a code. It's not there anymore.
Wow.
So like, where do I go to get a code generator?
Huh. Now that's interesting. Now, I promise you all, everybody who's hanging out with us, and I do have another code in a second. I promise you, this was not what the conversation of the day was. However, how great of a conversation this is turning out to be, because I'm not exactly sure who all we're helping, but I know that we're helping someone. I got some more help to bring up because I know that he can probably express this and express what he's going through and probably how to potentially prevent it, just like Ashton was mentioning. Let's bring up my guy out in Hercules of California, the co-host of Better Together, as well as First Reactions, my dude, Ja'Cory Proto. What is going on?
What's up, family?
Corey.
Y'all forgive me. The wind was blowing up here like crazy, and I could not sleep. But praise the Lord, everybody.
You're so churchy, man. You came in at a good time, man. We were just, I mean, we opened up the show just having a conversation with Yolanda about what she experienced yesterday through a Lyft driver who drove off with all of her stuff in it, and somehow or another, through a testimony that she just mentioned, she was able to get it back. Thank you, Lord Jesus, because of modern technology, being able to use a computer and all this type of stuff and use her brain, social media, stuff like that. She was able to get her stuff back. Then Ashton came on talking about just a moment ago about how she's not able to get in certain parts of her Facebook Messenger, and things of that nature, and all the things that she's going through. We were also talking about you and your plight with Instagram. I mean, what is going on, man? Where are we at with your account? Are you back in it? What did you do?
I've started a new one, and this is the thing that makes me mad about it is we're on social media almost 24 hours a day, to where when you're having an issue, why is it you can't get a response? That's my problem, is why no one can respond to me and say, hey, we got you, we're searching, we're looking. I ain't heard nothing. And I was sending messages every 20 minutes. They took over my account, then they changed my phone number, they changed somebody in Turkey.
So here is the question of the day in regards to this. How did this whole thing start?
They sent me a notification DM through Instagram, and seeing that I'm one that posts other people's music, it banged in my head like, oh my goodness, they're about to shut me down or put me in jail, because they were just like, oh, you're it was a privacy notice. So I hit the privacy notice, and then I looked at it, and I don't know, it's just like when you get pulled over by the cops. When you see something like that, it's just like, oh my goodness, what did I do? And so I read it, I closed out of it, and that was it. I guess from that key, them sending me that key, it gave them access to do whatever they wanted to do.
Just by reading it?
All I did was open it.
Is this the message? It's like it says Instagram user, Instagram copyright notice. Hello, dear user.
Yes.
Protected.
Yes.
Okay, let me tell y'all something. This is spam. All right. So this doesn't happen to any of our fellow listeners, watchers, supporters. Listen, this honey bunnies, spam. you should immediately delete it. So if it asks you to post this across your Facebook, blah, 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 spam.
And another good indicator, if you get emails and it's from an accredited Facebook, Bank of America, anything like that, any big corporation, always look at the email address. If the email address is coming from a XQ374 question mark at Gmail or at something else, that is spam. They don't send, they usually, it's going to say no reply at something, or it's going to say the legitimate, at whatever the company name. But you're not going to get something that's like, follow me XR437 question. It's not going to. So you got to do your research. And here's the thing. And I think that, and we are going down the rabbit hole a little bit, but let me just say this. I think that this is one of the effects of being in a pandemic. People have way too much time on their hands. They have way too much time on their hands. And so now you got, just people just doing crazy, dumb stuff, just dumb stuff for a reason only that they're bored. And so, this is fun to them. For us, we're like, how could this possibly be fun? It's fun to them. It's like a video game, but in real life.
Oh, but wait, not to cut you off, but then, they're just like, oh, well, if you give me $350, I'll give you your Instagram back. So, I played with it for a minute. I said, oh, that's real cute. We're in the pandemic. Then I said, well, we'll give you a discount. We'll give you a discount. Give us $250. So, by then I had set Jesus on the shelf and told them what they could do. I said, how you going to charge me for something that was free? You could keep it.
Oh my God, Jesus. Okay.
Right.
So here's another thing that happens. And I promise you, this was not planned, but this is an amazing conversation. I deal with this every day at the little small tech company that I work with from Silicon Valley. People are getting calls. They're getting text messages, more so phone calls from people saying, hey, we got your son's in jail or whatever. They'll come up with any type of story. Your Apple ID account has been hacked, whatever. And to get it out of it, you have to pay us a certain amount of money in iTunes gift cards. I see this every day. Wow. Every day. And people are getting up out their house. They're going down to Target. They're going to Walmart, buying these iTunes gift cards, coming back to these people, giving them these codes, and within moments they've lost $500, $1,000. I've seen people lose $2,000 in iTunes gift cards on scams that it just doesn't work that way. So let's be vigilant. Let's be smart. Let's double check stuff. Like Jacory was just saying. Let's double check stuff. As Ashton was saying, if it's an email, click on the email address to see where it came from. More than likely, that stuff is spam. If somebody wakes up in the morning and sends you an email saying that we're getting ready to give you $7,500 and all you got to do is give us your address, I promise you, it's spam. People don't know us like that. It's a pandemic, So let's be real smart and do what we got to do to stay safe during this time. What's up, Jennifer Hughes? What's going on, Stacey Williams Tucker? Good morning to Wendy Lawson, and so many more.
I'm sorry, Detail. Here, and another thing, if people ever call you on the telephone and ask you for personal information, and they'll do it like this. Well, I need some information to verify your account. This happens now legitimately in days past, being somebody who gets calls from bill collectors. Okay. I know I'm the only one. It's all right. It's okay. No. Okay. But when collection agencies call you, they're like, could you please verify your account? And I'm like, but you have the account right in front of you.
You called me.
So you have my name, address. Why don't you verify my account? So be careful not to give your social. Never give your social. Never. There's no reason anyone needs your full social. If anything, they only need the last 4 digits. Never. Don't ever give anyone your social security number. That's, trying to do business with you. Never. There's no reason for it. And be careful that you give, your last name, your address, your phone number, all that stuff. You just gotta be aware, just be hyper aware. And I know we want to see the good in everybody. We think everybody is filled with the Holy Ghost. They're not.
Oh, these facts.
They're not. And not everybody has your best interests at heart. And they might call and say whatever they're trying to do. They trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. And it might be coming out of your account if you're not careful.
And what you should definitely do is, again, I'm not the, shout out to Tiana Lemons, who is a credit professional, and she can definitely help. Kevin Lemon's wife, she can definitely help in this area. But I always ask, okay, I owe you, okay, please send me all the information in the mail with your valid company letterhead and all of that. Because I just don't believe, saying that everybody's calling, this is what it's for. I totally agree with Ashlyn. So you should never, ever give out your personal information. There's just, things you just don't have to do. And you are protected by laws and stuff like that. And a lot of times we just don't know. And sometimes we're just caught off guard. So yeah, you got to protect yourself.
Absolutely. And I want to mention this too. And then we'll move on. I got some other great news to share in just a second. I want to mention this too. A lot of us now use Cash App and Venmo and all these type of things. Mm-hmm. I have a friend of mine, lives here in my city, former police officer. So if anybody would know the game, he would know the game. Got a call from a person about his Cash App. He's like, hey, you have some issues with your Cash App. We noticed. We want to test this with you. We're going to send you some money. Something simple like $10, $20. He said, we sent you $20. Let us know if you got it. He said, yes, I got it. They said, cool. We're going to send you a code. We want just to verify one last thing with your Cash App. When you get the code, give us the code. The man gets the code, gives them the code. They are now logged into his Cash App now with their phone number and not his. And they took, because his bank account was attached to it, they took $5,000 of his
Jesus.
all because he shared a code with them. Ladies and gentlemen, please, when somebody asks or talks about this is specific, when they want you to give them a code, they are hacking into your account at that very moment. And once you give them that code, they are kicking you out of your Cash App forever. You will never be able to get back into it. So please, ma'am, please, sir, let's be vigilant. Let's be smart. Let's double check stuff. As Ashton has said again, check to make sure the email is legitimate. Don't give out your social security number. And by all means, again, do not give out any type of codes. If they call to verify you or trying to get information from you in a particular way, I'm telling you, if it sounds fishy, as Yolanda said a little earlier, if it sounds too good to be true, more than likely,
right?
It really.
And look, what do we used to say back in the day? Chickadee check yourself before you wreck yourself. Chickadee check yourself.
Yeah, I would say also just open your mindset, because we've gotten into a lifestyle of just rush to where sometimes you ain't even thinking. It be, you got so much on your mind, you ain't thinking. Because honestly, this stopped me from putting my video out. It stopped me from doing social media is the whole world for us right now. So just open your mindset to thinking a little harder, because in this day and time, people trying to get over on you.
Absolutely. And though none of us have no money to give away, though nobody had no social security to give away, none of those type of things. So let's all just be smart and double check, triple check, quadruple check, do what you do to stay safe. All right, y'all. Listen, let's change subjects just a little bit. Ashton, I know you're at work, so I know you won't be here too long, but I got some good news. I've got some good news that I want to share that is getting ready to be happening. I know I could tell it, but maybe the better way is just to kind of show it. Here's what I mean. Check this out.
So guess what, Carmina? Who we got next? We got.
Okay.
Damn.
The Contemporary Artist of the Year category. This includes Mr. Contrary Washington, Mr. Ja'Cory Prothro, Dr. Michael Dixon, Reverend Lamont Sanders, and Prophet Melvin Crispell III.
Did you say prophet?
I said prophet. That is Contrary Washington, Ja'Cory Prothro, Michael Dixon, Lamont Sanders, and Melvin Crispell III. Oh my goodness. And wait, can we appreciate everybody that's tuned in? Because they are giving love to everybody. Y'all,
they are.
Wonderful to see everybody just shouting out everybody. It's just all love. I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yes, I believe what he said to me.
Longer. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, we got Female Artist of the Year. Female Artist of the Year. Our nominees for 2021 are Tamika Farabee, Philly Stand Up. Yes, indeed. We got Ashleen Cole. That's right. Sunday Best Participant. We've got Angela Moss Poole, who's got a rocking song right now on the charts. We've got Robin McGee. The true alto is up in here. And we've got Kim Person, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, congratulations to Tamika Farabee, Ashleen Cole, Angela Moss Poole, Robin McGee, and Kim Person, our nominees for Female Artist of the Year. Good God Almighty.
Above your expectations. Oh.
Y'all tune in. Okay, but go ahead, Carmina will tell us about the single album artwork of the year nominees right now. Carmina, tell us who we got.
And this is an important category, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. But the single album artwork of the year nominees are Crossover, Valencia Jennings, Exceedingly, Ashleen Cole, Lover of My Soul, Shanillian Thompson, Forevermore, Ryan Brockington, and then Same God, Ashley Renee. Again, those nominees are Crossover, Valencia Jennings, Exceedingly, Ashleen Cole, Lover of My Soul, Shanillian Thompson, Forevermore, Ryan Brockington, and then Same God, Ashley Renee. And I'm excited about this category because these are some amazing artwork. Yes. They're competitive with the nationals. They they can sit side by side in the stores. Yes. I mean, just beautiful work. I'm telling you, independents are on a whole nother level now. It's not like, it used to be like, they made that at the house. It's not like that anymore. They have really taken the investment. They have taken their knowledge and really taken it to the next level. And I'm really excited about that.
You mean they didn't make that like through Publisher? Microsoft Publisher?
Oh, no. You mean like download my picture from my phone? And no. I paid somebody to come over to the house with a camera. I mean, we went to the studio. We next level now. I love it.
Oh God.
I didn't pull out my prom picture. I mean, I really, really went next level.
Exceedingly abundantly above your expectations. So you better think bigger. God can do exceedingly abundantly above your expectations.
And we are back. Congrats to Ja'Cory and Ashleen for your accomplishments, your nominations in this particular award event that I believe is happening in October, correct?
Yes, sir.
So why don't the both of you tell us a little bit about what is going on with this? What is this award thing that we need to start voting on today? What do we got going?
So basically, this is like the Independent Stella Awards is what I call it. Shout out to Derek Huggins. He actually is out there and he's actually assisting all the independent artists. So he's a radio promoter, what else is he? He's a DJ. He does a lot of different things. And we were selected for these two. I was selected for my category. She was selected for her others. But there's many. It's a lot of independent artists out there that's rocking the charts right now. I don't know if you guys know.
Absolutely. There's a lot of great independent artists, and we have two right here, Ja'Cory and Ashleen, that we're going to be sending our votes to. I seen Ashleen just text me the link to be able to vote Ashley, why don't you put that in the chat?
Because
Or-
I can't. Because I can't access.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
right. That's
yeah, I can't
right.
access Facebook
Let me see
right
if I
now.
can do it. Let me see.
So, but yeah, I just want to say I'm so excited to be included.
We need you to
So
move.
excited to be included in the artwork category, the album cover artwork. So I definitely want to give a huge shout out to Marcus McCauley. Marcus McCauley did all of that, y'all. All I did was show up and look pretty and stand on a tree stump. That's all I did.
Oh no, it was actually a lot of other stuff that was going on that tree stump, but praise God.
And he got bee stings that day during the photo shoot. He did. He sacrificed his own body, hallelujah, for the betterment of the album cover. So he did the photo shoot. He did the cover design. He did all of that, all the graphics. Incredible, incredible. Marcus McCauley, I love you so much. So yeah, you can go to the avidityawards.com/vote, and that will give you the link. Now, if you're on your mobile device, you will see a window pop up. Scroll inside that window because it doesn't look like it's a scrollable window, but you can scroll down and there's all kinds of great categories. So just make sure to give this one some love, give your girl some love, and then vote for some other people in some other categories because it's very rich. This is a very rich, it's going to be awesome. I'm very excited.
Absolutely. Now, where will the event take place?
That's a good question.
Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know the name of the theater.
Right, well, I mean, we at least know the city, so it's in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so are both of y'all going? Y'all flying out there?
You pray. It's a lot going on in the air.
I hear you now. I hear you. I hear you. There is a lot going
So
on.
the voting period begins. It's already begun. It began on August 16th. And it ends on a Wednesday, September 15th. That's the public voting period. There are 3 separate voting periods. Public voting, there's the TEGMA member voting period, and there's also the executive team voting period. So the person that has the most votes within those 3 categories then wins in their respective category. So super excited about this. Shout out to Derek Huggins, who is the one who put all this together. And this was voted, we were nominated by our peers. This wasn't a panel that sat down in a room and made the decision like so many other award shows that we hear about. It wasn't based on anything, but the voters, the listeners voted us in. And so we're so appreciative.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. I want to give a shout out to my cousin out in Emerson, Arkansas. My cousin Sudie Shaw Ward. She's my first cousin on my mother's side, and she is out in Arkansas. Glad to have you hanging out, cousin Sudie. Hopefully all is well with you and yours. All right, y'all. Listen, while we're talking about this whole thing, there is a lot of things going on, and there is unfortunately a lot of death going on in the area. I wanted to stop long enough to mention a passing of a good friend of mine, Ashland as well, Jacory. My guy, Fayette Michael Thomas, who passed over the weekend. Can't believe it. I mean, he's not even 50 years old. I mean, he's just great guy, great photographer, one of the funniest people you will ever want to meet. You definitely didn't want to sit next to him in church and try to be serious because he was going to have you cracking up the entire time. I just want to mention his name, Fayette Michael Thomas, who closed his eyes over the weekend. I got another message this morning from a friend of mine in Salinas, Adam Ortiz. His son, Adam Jr., passed this morning. And then also another friend of mine right here in my city, Gloria Forbes Walters. Her husband closed his eyes over the last evening. And oh, my goodness, there's so much death going on. And I don't know if any of it is COVID related. I don't even want to give in any of that. But I do want to tell you that those of you who are in the California and around the country, COVID is not over. I promise you, it's not over. This thing that we've been fighting with and dealing with for the last 18 months, it is not over. And I would suggest to you strongly, just like you see Ashland doing right now, I would strongly suggest to continue to wear your mask. no matter where you go, even if you are, got quarantined or got your shots and stuff like that. If you are vaccinated, I mean, that doesn't mean much at this point. People are still vaccinated, still getting COVID, and it's no joke. It's not over. So please, ma'am, please, sir, do what you can. Make an assertive effort to still wear your mask and protect yourself as well as the ones around you. We don't know these people. We don't know these people that you come in contact with every day. We don't know if they wash their hands. We don't know, if they really telling the truth about being vaccinated. We just don't know. So let's do all that we can to be careful and safe out there. I know one of you want to say something on that.
I was just going to say, before you close that out, Karen Clark told us some years ago that whatever you need is in the closet. So in saying that, we as the believers need to also be praying. I think we also, one of the reasons things like this is happening is because we've gotten so busy to where we have kind of put Jesus on the shelf. It's a lot going on, but you got to be in continual prayer. So some of y'all need to clear your closets out and put your knees to the floor.
Wow, that's
absolutely.
Good.
And let me just add this, because COVID is like, it's not knocking on my door per se, but it's knocking on my family's door. And I know Ja'Cory can attest to this as well, but my daughter is home with COVID right now. And she lives, in Southern California. She's not living with me, but she was so careful. She was so very careful. And one night, it was her birthday weekend, and she got all of her girlfriends together, and they went out to a place. And she told me, she said, when I got to the place, she said, I looked inside and I saw all those people. And she said, oh, this is risky. And she was like, but it's my birthday. And, all the conversations that we have with ourselves in our head. And she literally got it. And here's what's crazy. Nobody else in her group got it. It was 13 girls that went to the same place, that had the same conversations, that ate the same thing, sat at the same table. And she's the only one that got sick. So you just don't know, right? It's not like for sure guaranteed that you will or you won't. But for whatever reason, she got it. And so she had moderate symptoms, and she is getting better. Although this morning she said that it's trying to creep down into her lungs. So I am soliciting the prayers of everyone, because here's the thing. I had stated at the beginning of 2020, before we even knew that COVID was, and it was during praise and worship. And I said, Satan is trying to take our respiratory system so it can stop our praise. Trying to take our respiratory system. When we can't breathe, we can't praise. And so I'm just asking everybody to praise, to pray, to continue to worship, to continue to be faithful, to continue to be grateful for all that God has done and is doing and is getting ready to do. It's not over, y'all. We are in process. We're in transition from one season to the next. We cannot give up now, because look, we're still here. He's still working it out. So I love y'all. Appreciate you very much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to, add on to what she's saying. I think I've been saying this for a long while. I'm not an expert. It's just a feeling I have. Right? It's just like your grandma has a little gut feeling. I am telling you that it's not over. And I'm telling you, I can't tell people to get vaccinated. But I'm saying that Kurt Carr just recently posted that he had overcome COVID, and the only reason he survived was because he was vaccinated. I do certainly believe, as sure as my name is Yolanda Morant, you are going to need to be vaccinated to travel. It may not be today or tomorrow, but you're going to need to be vaccinated to travel, and especially to travel outside the States. My parents work in the medical field. They have all my life. And my mom was like, I just want you to be careful. I know you're going to rehearsal. I know you're getting ready for this, because a 15-year-old girl died in the hospital a couple of days ago. And so my dad had told me about 2 weeks ago, it's hitting a lot of children. So we need to be careful. I just kind of practiced something. I just came from rehearsal in Atlanta. I come home. I don't go anywhere. I stay at the same practice. I don't go anywhere for about a week, 2 weeks. I may go to the grocery store, do this little staycation kind of thing, but I don't like move around a whole lot. Because I think we think it's over and it's done, and I just really don't think it is. I think this Delta variant is something that we may be trying to play with, and I don't think it's that. I can't tell you guys' intentions. I can't tell you. I can't tell you that. I can tell you that warning comes before destruction, as my mom always says, and so we need to be vigilant about taking care of our bodies. Did I say it right?
Vigilant, diligent, and vigilant.
Oh, both. See, there she go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how you fix it. I'm a
Come
little
on.
country, okay? Little country, but that's how you fix it, okay? You do both things. You be consistent. You take your vitamins every single day. The zinc, the vitamin C, the D, all of right. You drink the water. You walk. You do all of it. Let me tell you something. It's not to be played with. It's not a fun thing. I haven't had COVID, praise the Lord. But my mom told me about that little girl. That was her way of saying you need to be careful. So I'm serious, y'all. Y'all think it's a joke. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff that happens that you don't always hear. There's events that happen and people at the events with COVID. It is not that serious. Stay your rump at home. It is not that serious.
Come on.
Stay at the house. I'm serious. Let me tell you something. I love singing with higher calling, but I will not put my fellow lemon heads in danger if I am sick. That's why we're not even at full capacity. We have a limited number of people that contend, as Ashley may know, a limit because we want to keep people safe. Let me tell you, ain't no singing, no song that serious to put other people in jeopardy at all.
Absolutely.
Don't play with it. I don't want to go to nobody's funeral.
And let me just say that when you sing that COVID face to face, it's a whole different thing. Because let me tell you, I've finally seen it, and it is a killer. It's trying to take your breath. It'll have you walking around here looking like you casket sharp. So you really. And I'm just being honest in this moment.
Yeah.
We've been going through it a while, and I've had people die kind of far, but once that thing comes close enough to you, then that's when it becomes real. So you need to wear your mask. You need to go get this little shot. It's okay. You won't be able to lift your little arm up for a day or two. You still be good. Don't let it take you out.
It's good. And my daughter's vaccinated. She's fully vaccinated. And if she hadn't been vaccinated, I'm telling you, whatever this little vaccine did, it is sparing her like really getting sick. Because she's sick. She is moderate, right? Not severe, but not mild. She's got moderate symptoms. But if she hadn't been vaccinated, who knows, right? We'd be praying some different prayers. And so, medical, I mean, if everything came from God, then God gave us the vaccine. Amen.
These facts.
Good stuff. Listen, I am looking up at the clock, and already it is time for us to go. A lot of people have been hitting me up, asking me how come we're only doing an hour now. We're doing it, trying some things out, trying some different things. Speaking of trying some different things out, in the month of September, in 2 weeks, we will be moving. My schedule has changed, and I will no longer be off on Tuesday. So we are moving. We are debating between Wednesday or Thursday. By the time we come together next week, which is a great week, it's my birthday week next week. But by the time we come together next week, we will let you know exactly what day we will be moving to. All right, y'all, it is time for us to get ready to go. Jacory, closing comments, final thoughts.
All I'm gonna say is, y'all, let's support each other. Go vote.
Awesome. We appreciate it, man. And definitely we will. Yolanda, closing comments, final thoughts.
So first of all, go vote. I just did. See, it took 30 seconds. I did it all while we were sitting right here. Okay, another part is you get one life. You got to live that life to the best of your ability. Don't play with it. Put your mask on your face.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Ashlyn, closing comments, final thoughts.
Absolutely. We talking about this voting thing. Not only go vote for Jacory and myself, but there's a vote on the table for Gavin Newsom. For those of us that are out here in California, they're trying to take him out. And in my opinion, he's done some great things for California. And taking somebody out because they had the safety of all of us here in California in mind and took extreme measures to keep us safe, I don't think is a reason to take somebody out of office. So it's my little 2 cents. But go vote.
Absolutely. What's that, Jacory?
Oh, I already got my ballot here. I'm about to fill it out.
Come on.
I ain't mad at you. Do what you got to do. Listen, last but not least, I will say this as a closing comment. You guys didn't get a chance to see my shirt because I'm sitting a little lower. But What I'm learning to do in this season, more than anything else, I am learning to.
Come on.
Say less, brethren.
So
Say less.
season, if there's a new mantra that you can gather, my brother, my sister, let's all learn to hold our mouth and say less on behalf of out in Charlotte. We've got Jacory in the Bay Area, Ashland in the Bay Area. My name's Demetrius. Toast to the next time on this same Shop Talk Network at this same Shop Talk time. Y'all know how I do.
Oh, Lord,
Ow.
my God,
Can I
you did
say?
it again.
Ow.